Welcome back to your Apple news. We have very early, but actually, yes, iPhone 13 leaks. The iPhone 13 specs are already being talked about, and actually we know a few things about the device already. iPhone 13 screen rumors, also iPhone 13 camera specs already coming out. New iPads in the works too for early next year. Rumors about OLED iPads, not sure if that's true. New AirPods specs and rumors, and even a foldable iPhone. Rumors on that one too as well, so there's lots to go over today. Before we get stuck into the Apple news, it is Black Friday week and also the holiday season. I'll link the best Apple deals in the description below for you. You can go and check those out on Amazon. Lots of discounts. Let's get into the iPhone 13 early rumors though. There's some bits that we do know about the device. So apparently 4 models in the iPhone 13 series next year. That's already been decided. So Apple will keep the 4 phones just like they did this year. So we'll have a mini, an iPhone 13, then a Pro and a Pro Max. Some of the biggest rumors, and obviously what is going to be important for you guys is, I guess, the notch, because the rest of the design is more or less going to stay the same. Ice Universe telling us that the notch may actually reduce in size in the iPhone 13. This is really the only big leaker telling us about the notch size. Again, we can't really confirm or deny this. I think it's just too early to tell. Ming-Chi Kuo has come out with a lot of information about the iPhone 13 though, and when he speaks, usually it's because he knows what's going on. He's telling us that the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max will debut a brand new and improved ultra-wide camera lens. This is really important because the ultra-wide doesn't have as good of a lens as the main image sensor for sure. Apple made that better in the iPhone 12. Looks like they're going to do the same with the ultra-wide, so an f1.8 aperture and a 6p lens as well. So this will mean essentially in low light, you're just going to get a better camera. It's going to be able to absorb more light, and so all of the night mode that they did put on the ultra-wide this year is going to see a bigger improvement into the iPhone 13. The faster the lens, the better when it comes to absorbing light. So if you have an f1.8 compared to what is currently used, which is an f2.4, this means the lens on the new iPhone 13s will just have a huge advantage in night mode and low light compared to any of the current phones. According to Ming-Chi Kuo, who gets his information from supply chain sources, the Taiwanese firm Lagan will be supplying most of those lenses, just like they do with a bunch of the other lenses on the other cameras. When it comes to 120Hz on the iPhone 13, this is obviously a big spec that a lot of enthusiasts want on the phone. The iPhone 12 couldn't put it in there because of battery restraints. With the 5G and everything, Apple just decided not to go with it. It would have drained too much of the battery. But the 5G being a second gen in the iPhone 13, 120Hz is absolutely necessary for me. Well, it looks like it's kind of confirmed already. Again, Ming-Chi Kuo and supply chain sources telling us that LG are going to be making way more LTPO displays. And this is obviously going to be going in the iPhone. LG is still a really small supplier when it comes to Apple. Samsung Display makes the vast majority of OLED screens for the iPhone. However, seeing that LG will be making these smartphone size LTPO displays, this is a really, really good sign, and it means essentially those LTPO 120Hz displays could be going in the iPhone 13. LTPO, by the way, is the brand new type of OLED technology. It's more energy efficient and it is just an upgrade over current LTPS. So this just looks tailor-made for the iPhone 13, and it looks like Apple really do want to put it in there, at least for the Pro models. When it comes to the release dates of the iPhone 13 series, it is expected that they'll move back to the usual release dates. Obviously, they were later this year. We all know why, but as everything does hopefully return to normal, it should be an earlier launch for the iPhone 13 series next year than it was for the iPhone 12 this year. We also get a lot of great concrete information about new iPads coming early next year. So there should be a new iPad with mini LED in the first half of 2021 with a screen size of 12.9 inches, and this should get the A14 chipset. Mini LEDs use thousands of tiny LEDs to light the display rather than just one big one, and so you should get much better color reproduction and contrast ratios, much like we get in OLEDs. However, these should be slightly cheaper to produce and also have a longer life overall and not suffer from burn-in issues. So there's tons of advantages to mini LEDs. Apple have gone big into this, and it looks like we're going to be getting them in iPads starting next year. There were also some reports about some possible OLED iPads, and it's come out that this was actually maybe just not the case. Some very reliable sources though, including Ross Young, telling us that these OLED screens just absolutely are not for any iPads. And yeah, that makes sense. Apple are moving to mini LED for their iPads and even the MacBooks as well. So probably this rumor is not true. We also get news about refreshed MacBook designs and even iMac designs. And Apple absolutely smashed it out of the park when it comes to the M1 chipset. The new MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro are just unbelievable. Like, for the price and the performance they give, they literally destroy everything. It is incredible how efficient they are, how powerful they are. So obviously Apple want to double down on this. Ming-Chi Kuo telling us that a redesign is coming. So we're getting an iMac with a 24-inch display. That could be coming very early next year, so Q1 2021. And of course, some new MacBook Pros. A 14-inch MacBook Pro is on the way, according to Ming-Chi Kuo, Q2 or Q3 2021. According to him, all new form factors and industrial designs are coming in these. And of course, a new MacBook Pro 16-inch, the beast, the monster with Apple Silicon inside for some time next year. Unclear on release dates though. I use a MacBook Pro to edit everything that I do here, so I'm super excited to see a MacBook Pro with Apple Silicon inside, and I hope it comes earlier than later next year. Also, when it does come to MacBook Pros, rumors of Force Touch possibly being introduced into the Touch Bar on Touch Bar MacBooks. Just a rumor, but quite a cool one to highlight here. Not really sure why that would be necessary. The touch bar itself isn't massively loved by most people. Force Touch on here as well, not sure what that would add, but I guess we'll have to wait and see if it comes. New AirPods are in the works for next year also, apparently, and these are going to be more like the AirPods Pro in design, but a cheaper version of those. These will have a shorter stem than the current AirPods. They will use a different type of technology inside called System in Package technology. This is more affordable, and so that longer stem that we get in the AirPods should be disappearing, bringing the design much more like what we see in the AirPods Pro. And we've got some concrete information about the chipset going inside the iPhone 13 already. Of course, Apple do have to plan this, and it has to be put into manufacture quite soon. This will be what's called a 5nm plus technology. It will be manufactured by TSMC. This is the company that makes virtually all of the chips for Apple iPhones. They should be moving to 4nm in 2022. So for next year, just a progression from what we have now. Then we get these crazy Apple foldable rumors, and these are coming about because, well, Apple apparently did order some foldable displays for testing. Apple will of course do this and test a ton of different technologies, but I don't think this is going to be coming anytime soon. Maybe 3 or 4 years time we may see a possible foldable from Apple. For now though, I think just prototypes and just testing out what is possible. Then we get the portless iPhone rumors, and these are just going to hot up the closer we get to the iPhone 13 launch. This is obviously the progression for Apple. It's obvious that the port is going to go. They have MagSafe now, which is going to be their new de facto charging system. These, once more, are just rumors at this stage, and I think, to be honest, if they do choose one device to actually take the port away from, it's probably going to be the iPhone mini. You have the Pro and the Pro Max, and these are definitely targeted towards heavy users, Pro users, and there's a lot of reasons why those Pro users may still actually find some use from the charging port. The Mini though is 100% absolutely targeted towards the normal consumer, people that probably wouldn't notice if the charging port wasn't there anyway, if they have MagSafe. And we have this report from DigiTimes telling us that Apple are designing their own antenna in package system. This is the 5G antenna that they'll be using in phones going forward. Right now, Apple are using Qualcomm antenna designs and their 5G modems thanks to a massive lawsuit, and Apple essentially had to go with Qualcomm, but they don't like the modems or the designs, and they will be moving away from them as soon as their contract lapses. Check out the links in the description for those amazing Apple deals and discounts. I'll put them there for you. That is it for this one though. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.